Hey peeps, it's Kaz here. Welcome to the channel. So today I'll be showing you guys how to make a mob trap that will help you get the Ancient Shadow Scale armor in the pre-hard mode from the Eater of Souls. So first you obviously want to be in the corruption. Now you want to make a little pillar that's about around 15-20 blocks high, just high enough that the worms can't reach you. There we go, but not too high where you can't really see the ground, because you want to be able to see the ground so these eaters can't really spawn from the ground. They can spawn from the sides, which also having the ground be flat, it can help with that, because if it's flat then they can't come out of these holes here, and they can only come from the sides of the screen, which is ideally what you want here. So this isn't the most optimal setup, but it should work. Alright, now you want to mine this pillar up, because obviously you don't want worms to get up to you. That's why you want it to be about 15-20 blocks high. That's about the max range, jump range of a worm. Otherwise, you're going to have the worm jumping into the trap and then jumping up to you, hitting you, and you're just taking damage for no reason, and you're possibly dying, which obviously you don't want when you're early on in trying to farm. Alright, so now we're going to expand this out by one. Then we're going to do a little ladder platform here. There we go. Let me carve the edge off. Want to do a little ladder here. It's about four-ish blocks high, so that's about 2 now, so 3 and then 4, and that should work. Same thing on the other side, so. And then 4. Perfect. Now you're gonna want to smooth the edges out with a hammer. You can use any hammer for this, and this just so the enemies will slide off of it, so they won't get stuck on it. All right, there we go. Now you want to do this for the inside as well, because you're kind of making like a little, like an arrow here, or like a little cauldron here, honestly. Now you want to go ahead and fill that with lava. There we go, which is pretty easy for you to get. You just need to use like lead or iron and just make some buckets, and you can go find lava down in the caves pretty easily. Now from here, you want to then make a pillar that's about 4 blocks high. So here we are standing here. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and you can mine this up. I did this just to make sure I was being accurate. Let me smooth this back out. Perfect. All right, now you kind of want to do the same thing that you did on the bottom here. We'll make a little ladder that goes up, except for you want this ladder to be about 10 blocks, at least 10 blocks high, just so enemies can hit the side and slide off of it, and slide all the way down so into this lava here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And if you want to make your life a little easier, you can also cover it up as well, so you aren't taking damage from the top. But I'm going to do the same thing on this side here. Now this part's pretty easy. You want to just drop down up in here. And if you have like a blue candle from the dungeon, if you're at that point and you have a blue candle, you can use that in here so you can increase spawn rates. Or if you have a potion that increases spawn rates or anything like that, anything that increases spawn rates, you can use that while you're in here. Obviously for more enemies to come in. Now last thing is you want to just smooth the edge here, so enemies will hit this and slide all the way down to the lava. Then I'll show you that in a second. Alright, there we go. Make sure my portal's not hitting anything. Let me despawn my dragon. And I don't have anything on me, so it's going to take me a little bit. But you can see here, leaders are going to come in. And the only issue you may have is if, like I said, for me, I can't see this part of the ground. That's why you want a flat area as well, because if the ground is flat, then they can't spawn from under. And whenever they spawn from under, they might get stuck. But it's also pretty easy to get them unstuck. You can just jump to the side a little bit, and then once you go back to the center, they'll get caught in there again. I actually did forget to mention in live recording of this, but if you guys are having trouble with the eaters spawning on the sides and getting stuck, like there's like the giant ones, you can always use a hammer and knock these sides down by half a block here, and that'll take care of that for you. Alright, so here we have the trap in action. As you can see, the enemies that spawn on the sides, they'll just hit the sides, they'll bounce in. As I said, I don't have a flat ground here, so that's why there's enemies spawning under. And as you see, the worm, this is actually perfect, tests everything. The worm can't jump up here. Honestly, if you jump from there, you can, but that's just because I don't have this optimized. Like I said, if you ideally want the ground to be flat here, just so you can control what enemies spawn at, because they're coming out of these little tunnels right here, so they're coming from under. When you ideally want them coming from the sides, if you can see the flat ground here, then they can't spawn, so they'll just come in from the sides like this guy here, and they'll just come in and hit the wall. But as I said, you can just drag them over to the side if that's the case. If it's a little inoptimal, you can just drag them over and then walk back over to the center, and then they'll get stuck in. And as I mentioned, if there's bigger eaters that are getting stuck on the walls, you can actually use a hammer and knock down this little area on the sides here, and that will allow them to, it'll make it big enough for them to get in still. And with the trap done, as you see, enemies, you can just hit this wall, they'll slide down, they'll slide into the lava, and then they'll die, and you'll collect the loot. And you can just sit here and kind of just AFK do this. But If you guys enjoyed, please do leave a like and consider subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one.